Right.
And I think a lot of those slides needed that.
Yeah. Well, the other thing on this, Amy, I think you did a great job welcoming the board, but I don't think you need to say this is the Ascend competition. Just say, hello, welcome. I mean, you're kind of doing a mock thing, so you don't need to say thank you for being here. That right now, you guys need to shave stuff out of your presentation, and I would just say, welcome board, we're here to help you go further and move on. Don't say, we're so glad you're here at the Ascend case competition and that kind of thing. The other thing, and you guys don't feel like we're picking on you guys, but Amy, your voice was a little bit loud, I think. And you're excited.
That'll probably be the right volume.
It might be the right volume.
In that room.
Yes.
You need to adjust it by the room.
But, and you caught everyone's attention, but just be cognizant. I'll be in the room. If you see me doing my thumb down or something, you'll know that you're talking too loud, okay?
Doesn't mean you're bad.
No, I'm just like a little bit less. But if you're, is that bad? Should I mean, I'm going to be in the room.
No, don't go like this.
Or I could just go like this.
Yeah,
I'll just go like this. I'll just go like this if you need to be lower or
You are
something.
very good.
Okay, like this.
this.
But you caught everyone's attention, and I think that's really good. Okay, so I think for effect, you didn't click on this slide until it wasn't. I mean, this slide has impact, and so you need to time when you go into this. You need to time it with when you're saying the presentation, and you can say, "We're here to talk about something." $15.4 billion. Now, does that sound like a lot of money? It is to Ford or whatever, and you move into it. So use that slide to really make impact. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but she kind of didn't click on it at the right time.
I guess for someone like me, the people in the audience will be more knowledgeable than I am, but I would like to know perspective-wise, like 15.4, what is the pension supposed to be at right now? I mean, percentage-wise, how big? I mean, it looks like a big number.
Yeah, this is an underfunded number. This is just underfunded. One thing you guys need to also have, not just that this is underfunded, but how many pension assets do they have? Mm-hmm. And then how much is the, what goes into this 15.4? You may want to say
something I did.
Okay.
When this came up. I'm reading this obtuse thing here. That's the question, which, you guys are giving a better answer than the question, let me tell you, okay? 15.4 billion, and I'm looking, and I'm like, where does it, this is what it concludes, 15.4 billion? They had I wrote it down, and I can't remember it exactly, a Verba or a Viva or something like that, that Ford and General Motors agreed with the union to do in 2007, and I think between 2007 and 2010, this voluntary employee benefits thing, which was for unionized employees, they created a separate pension fund. And the whole idea to create the separate pension fund was to get it off the books of General Motors and Ford. Off the books, okay? A judge had to agree to it. I think it was a federal judge that had to agree to it, but I could be wrong about that, okay? The whole idea was to get that off the books for all of the unionized employees of at least General Motors and Ford. If Chrysler was included, it might have, I don't know, okay? But the point is, in doing that, once there was a legal agreement to do that, okay? It took the entire liability for the unionized employees and put it in a separate fund called a Viva or Verba or something like that. You can find it, I'm sure it's easy to find it, okay? And it became like a 401k, okay? There's no longer a liability of the company. Okay, it's administered by a special master or someone like that is responsible to the union and the company. And I don't want to see you guys get asked a question about pension liabilities, because for my first reaction to that when I saw it was, where the hell did this come from? It can't be the hourly guys, because they agreed to do this. Now, I could be wrong, honestly, I could be wrong. I don't pay attention to Ford in that regard. But it was in one of my classes that I did on Ford because I was paying attention to it at the time, because Ford was busy failing. Before they borrowed $23.5 billion, they were going to fail before Chrysler and before General Motors. They were going to fail first. But they had the guts to borrow before the market tanked. It's one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen a CEO do. He did it. What's his name? The guy that's the CEO.
McAlee or...
Mullally.
Mullally.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so he borrowed. All right. But what this is, I don't, somebody in the audience, I don't know how many people you're going to have in the audience, but if they're as smart as these two guys are on finance,
We're gonna have
They
about
know.
4 or 5 judges, and 2 of them are actually KPMG folks, and 2 of them will be from the Ascend professional chapter. So I don't know that we'll have anyone actually from Ford there, but we're supposed
No,
to.
I'm not talking about Ford. I'm talking
Pretend-
about people who know finance like these guys.
Oh, yes. Well, they'll all know finance
And
like
it's a
these guys.
Ford thing, okay?
Yes.
It's Ford and General Motors that did that. right?
Yes.
So now I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, well, what the hell is this? You know, I thought they got it off the books. I know that sounds like an overly simplistic question, but let me tell you something. It was huge at the time, between 2007 and 2010. If you don't know what that is and somebody brings it up, you're all gonna go, what?
Yeah, so that you guys
Really?
need to research that and find
So
out
what is
about
it?
His
V-
logo
Viva
back.
or
You remember
Verba.
that? You know, the Ford logo, they just got it back. They hawked it.
The 23.5 billion included borrowing against every single physical asset that Ford had,
And
including the
intangibles.
logo. And of the 23.5 billion, the logo was priced by the banks who gave them the money at $6 billion.
Collateral?
Collateral.
Yes.
The logo was
The
collateral.
logo was collateral. $6
So
billion.
if they didn't pay it back, they
And
wouldn't be
as
able
I
to
say
use
to
the
my
logo.
MBA classes, are you serious?
So you
Really,
mean
$6 billion for a logo?
The
so
logo.
I
Ford.
know, but I mean you mean the 23.5 billion that's
Was
for lump sum.
pledged against assets,
Ford, yeah.
lump sum cash.
But when I read the 10Q for the first quarter of Ford, I find Ford do more refinance.
They're allowed to.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, their interest rate has come back
Oh.
down to a competitive interest rate because they paid
Because they
back
have
most of the
a
loan.
better financial performance. Right?
Yes,
Exactly.
super financial.
Exactly.
Oh,
So they do have some refinancing power, but what John said, Professor Barton, is y'all really need to take a look at those debt covenants that he's referring to. Just to see, in other words, just to see what, you know, how low can that current ratio
Ratio
go?
go.
Yeah.
And times interest earned is another huge one that all
But
lenders
current
look at.
performance could get them an agreement that they can,
Gotta look at
because their
that.
performance has been so.
And,
Their
and
SEC
also,
filing.
I mean, being in the finance area, I mean, cash flow is all I care about.
That's right.
Yep.
I really don't care about this accounting entries and all this
I
stuff.
do. I agree.
But since this is an accounting competition, aren't they gonna focus more on the accounting?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Than will the cash flow?
Yes.
But I
Be
agree with.
prepared for the cash flow, cause they run out of cash, it's over.
Yeah, actually the cash flow is the same amount as the cash equivalent.
No, no,
So-
that's
No, no,
the
no.
cash on
No, that's
hand.
the same thing.
No, no.
Cash
It
on
shouldn't- it
the
shouldn't
equivalent.
be.
No, it should
It
not.
should be.
No. He's
Should
talking
be.
about the cash flow. You gotta look at the 3 components of the
Yeah,
cash flow,
sure.
the operating, investing, and financing.
Yeah.
And you wanna make sure that operating cash flow portion is positive. You understand what I'm saying?
Actually,
In other words, you wanna take whatever net income number
Yes.
they produced and say, how much did they produce in cash flow?
That's how you're paying everybody every 2 weeks. Cash flow is, how do I pay everybody?
How do
every
I
2
pay my
weeks?
bills?
It's the last minimum thing we look at inside a company. If you don't have cash flow, you're done.
You know.
I know the calculated cash flow is the cash and the equivalent. The calculated.
No, no, that's
No,
the
that's-
cash on hand. That's not the cash.
Accumulated.
Well, I
If
think,
you-
I think you're getting
It's
kinda
the
mixed
cash
up
in-
on the cash flow statement. At the end
Because I
of
checked
the,
the number.
into the cash flow statement,
Should equal
all the
to the-
accountant cares about is the
it balances.
change in cash,
Right.
right? But that's not cash flow.
So, cash flow is the 3 components.
I know the operation, the finance,
Investing.
the investment.
Investing and
Yeah.
financing. Oi.
And actually, actually, the accumulated cash flow we put in the balance sheet. That's
It
the
ties
cash
to the,
and-
the ending cash flow
Yeah,
number.
accumulated.
The accumulated ties to the balance sheet cash.
Yes,
You're
yes.
100%
No
correct.
And put as
But
the
what we're
cash
saying
equivalent.
here
Yeah.
is you gotta look at your components, especially your operating. If your operating is negative, that's telling
No.
us
Operating now is
it's positive.
is positive. It's
Yes.
like,
Because the operating is telling us that you're
because
paying your bills on
20.2
a.
billion net
Yeah.
income.
But what he's
Well,
trying to
Yeah,
tell you is,
no, that,
have
you need
be
to go
ready
look at their
answer
cash
that.
flow statement.
I don't care what net income
I
is.
looked up, yeah.
Okay.
I really
okay.
don't care what net income is. I
It
wanna
doesn't
know
matter what net income
I
is.
wanna know
It's
what
not gonna
cash
help you.
flow
Net
is.
income
Because
is a
net
managed
income can
number.
have funny money in it. It can
It's a
have,
managed
it
number.
can
This
have
guy can tell me what my
Yeah.
earnings are.
depreciation and
Yes.
other weird stuff
Hey,
in
now,
it.
and listen, and I don't wanna spend forever on this. I'm telling you, I have a question.
Sure.
Because somebody could have a question about what they
Yeah,
did
for
with
this number,
Viva,
yeah.
because they got their pension obligation to all their hourly employees at General Motors and Ford off the books.
Isn't this related to the salaried?
I thought it said both, it said wage.
Yes.
Wage is
It's-
usually hourly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wages are at.
I mean, in other words, inside the automobile industry,
Yeah.
it's salaried and hourly,
Hourly.
okay? When you say wage in a slide like that,
Yeah.
it means the hourly,
Hourly.
Hourly.
right.
yeah.
But does
So
this
which is
mainly
salary?
relate to the salaried employees?
Yep.
If it's salaried, then it's different, but this was for the hourly unionized employees.
Yes,
Which is-
If
but.
you say wage, that's what you mean in the automobile.
But this is a question for the team. Isn't this mainly relating to the salaried employees, this 15.4? Because the people they're trying to get to do the buyout are the salaried employees, right? Am I wrong on that?
I would think the hourly.
That's
Or does it
That's
include
for
both?
salaried.
Would you?
No, just for
Would you,
salary.
Charlie?
We need
Is
to
this
know.
15.4 billion
Yeah,
only
yeah.
related to the
Right.
salaried
Because when this
employees?
hit me, I said, wait a minute, I thought they got the hourly employees.
I mean, I
off
can
the
fire
books.
all the salaried people, but I've got a legal obligation.
Yeah, but these are
to my
mostly
wages.
retired people that they owe money to.
Yeah, they're already retired.
These are people that are already starting to
Already
receive.
receiving,
Okay,
They're
let's
already
assume for a
receiving an
second,
annuity.
that's absolutely accurate, because I wouldn't know. But my
Yeah.
point is,
I don't either, that's why I said-
we got it off the books.
Yeah.
VIVA got it off the books, okay? A federal judge agreed to that,
Mhm.
okay?
They
Now,
had expensive
there's gotta be somebody in that audience that knows that. I mean,
Okay.
this is a Ford case. and
Yeah,
you've
you
got
guys need
people
to
who are
research
just as
that
smart
for
as
sure.
these two guys in finance,
Much more.
who will know that, okay? That's, if it's my question, it's their question.
Yeah,
Right.
good point.
That's all, that's all I'm saying.
So for an impact thing, what do you think they should have here? Because that, I mean, the whole reason this
No,
is
no,
here.
just say what it is.
Say what
Just
it
say
is.
what it
First
is.
of all, I don't disbelieve you.
Okay.
I'm confused
He
by it,
just
that's
wants
all.
Yeah.
support.
Just say what it is.
Say what, tell us what it is.
What, the 15.4?
What is it? Tell us
It's a
what is
pension
it.
liability.
For who?
Underfunded
For
or
who?
What, so the 15, so they have a 15.4 billion, there's $1 billion liability in their book.
No, this is
Well,
underfunded.
Underfunded.
This is their this is the
Confusing me
amount
now.
underfunded.
Yes, $15.4 underfunded in their pension
Underfunded.
liability, which
Okay.
is, their pension liability is way over.
And also the.
Then
Now is that-
I know, but what are their pension assets? What are the
Forty-
current?
49 billion.
Yeah.
They have 49 billion of
49.
pension assets.
So this 14 billion, it's the underfunded amount
Yes.
Of that.
of that for who?
So
Is
if
it
you-
for
yeah, who is this
retirees?
for?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it for the present employees?
Who do they owe that to?
Is it for their
Overall.
wages?
Overall.
It's overall.
I know, but
Affirmative.
what does it mainly
Well, then-
include? Does this mainly include salaried employees? Does it mainly include already retired employees? Because
of
if
them.
you think
All
of
of
it,
That is overall.
but going
Okay.
forward, this is a problem from the past.
Balance sheet.
Yeah, but I mean, how would the 15.4 break down? Would it be 6 billion
Well,
retired?
9.4 is in the
Would it
US,
be 3
right?
billion
You
salary?
need to know
I know.
that.
6
All we're saying is you
billion?
need to know that. That's all.
Because
we're
You,
saying.
you guys need to know how
That
to
number is
play
an
with
eye
the
catcher.
Right.
And frankly, if you just Google Viva or Verba or whatever the hell
We
it's
can know
called, you'll read it.
exactly.
You'll know what it is.
Yeah,
You do need to know that it's kind of like a work in process. If I asked you a work in process number for Ford, you're gonna have to tell me how much is raw material,
Right.
okay? All right, how much is in your WIP, your work in process, and how much is in your finished goods. So if you put a number up there, and that was relating to your inventory, I'm gonna ask you, how much is that is raw material, how much is that was WIP, and how much is that is your
Yeah.
finished goods?
So you need to be
threw
able
a-
to-
You threw a number up there, which we're okay with,
Yeah.
but you gotta tell us,
We have-
because we're the judges. I have no freaking idea what that number
You
is.
mean, you mean
I
which
mean,
one I?
Isn't that the
Did I
biggest
point
number
out the-
of your whole presentation?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
pretty much,
So by
yes.
gosh, you better be able to answer every question, because I mean,
I know.
you just said, by God, here's 15.4 billion, and you're sticking out your chest. I wanna know everything you know about that number.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yes, yes.
And if you can do it, you might win this
You're
thing
gonna win
just
it.
on that.
The inventory.
right, just like inventory.
Yeah.
But actually, I didn't mention that. I didn't mention.
no, no,
No.
no.
Don't worry about
He's
that.
giving an
Don't worry about
example.
that.
I'm giving you an example.
Be rude.
This is your
Give another
pension
round.
number. Yeah,
Yes.
I gotta go someplace
to
in
do
20
this like
minutes.
Zip.
I haven't been to my office all day. I mean, you gotta tell me that, I missed the first couple of minutes. Whenever you give a presentation, you gotta tell me right now, here's our recommendation. We're underfunded by $15.4
George,
billion.
that's the problem.
That's my issue. And here's how we're gonna solve it. You
Yeah.
already told me in the next slide, you're gonna do buy in
Yeah.
and buy out. I'm comfortable with that. But what I'm gonna come back to you and say, out of that 15.4, okay,
Yeah,
who do I owe? Do I owe a wage? Do I owe an hourly? Do I owe a salary? Do I owe a
Okay, yes, I
retiree?
totally understand that.
See?
Understand.
All right, and if you know that right away, and be confident, I don't know, Amy, if you're saying it, be confident, say, I know it.
How much for the hourly, how much for the
Yes,
salary?
separate.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
gotcha.
Because
Got
you,
it?
you don't
Yeah,
want to,
I understand.
you don't want to show
You just want to know what
weakness.
that, you want to know everything about that number, because you want, they will ask you. Well, okay, if that's how much we're underfunded, how many pension assets do we have currently? Oh, and what is our liability right now? Well, it's, 49 billion plus this 15.4. But you need to be able to spit those numbers
Those
out
right
if you're
out.
asked.
So just keep
So,
going.
so buy in and buy out.
Got that.
You guys talked about all the different four sections
Four
of
sections,
this,
right.
that they required us to talk about. I think Amy, I thought that, I love how you did this. You did an analogy to Ford and the different parts of the car and the inspection team and all that. I think you did a great job here. You really shaved some, now Frank's the only one that's seen them do this. You really shaved out a lot of stuff that you didn't need to talk about from previous. I thought this was good. I don't know if anyone else has comments on these slides or.
Just make
I
that.
thought it was good that they flattered the
The
board
board.
of directors.
Yes,
yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes.
You have a great board of directors. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Talked about the
presenting to board of
governance.
directors.
Yeah, and I think you also, on this slide, you mentioned about gender and culture diversity, and that you would recommend that those be considered because of some of the goals of moving into the Pacific Asia region. I think that was perfect, and in the paper that you guys are doing, you can delve into that a little bit further. But the main thing is, you guys are wanting to talk about buy-in, buy-out, and I think, I'll tell you one thing, I've seen each one of their presentations. You guys got a lot clearer, and Frank can probably echo this, as far as we knew you were recommending buy-in and buy-out. We knew from the first slides to the end that that's what you were recommending. Each one of you, Wendy, you talked about it, Eddie talked about it, Owen, you guys all had a consistent theme. You knew that everything pointed towards that, addressing that first so that they can move on, so they can focus on the future. I thought that was done really well.
Just make that credibility experience just a tad larger on the
Okay.
screen, but that's fine.
Do you guys get that?
Just a little bit larger, not like significantly. I just have a question on your handouts. Are you gonna give it in a portfolio style handout? Are you giving it like this? Are you giving it in color?
It probably needs to be as nice as
Bound.
possible.
In color.
It needs to be in color,
Bound.
and
Would you
these were
agree?
only not done in color because
Bound,
my
right?
printer's
I mean, you can't
terrible.
follow
Right.
these.
How would
Right,
you
I could
recommend?
follow.
Should it be a portfolio? Like, should it
But you
be
can't follow
in?
anybody in this format.
Should be
I
down.
mean,
Not
we've
you.
just done it where it's spiral bound,
Yeah.
it's in
So
color,
one line and one
glossy,
page.
and it's got the
Is
clear
okay?
cover.
One
Just
slide,
something they
one
could
page.
get done at Kinko's?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you know,
think it
you-
represents the school.
Sure.
I think if you
I mean,
come
Meryl,
in
we-
with
we give
anything
you more-
else,
Is it more
but they need to
comfortable?
make
We
sure
give you a
too that
beautiful
every
book
slide
with-
up there
with
is on
it,
here,
with all
because there were
the
a couple that.
Yeah,
didn't
some of the
have.
slides
Right.
did not come through. Owen, your slide on the longevity didn't come through. Again. So, and the other thing is, if you guys are going to do these slides, I mean, I did 3 to a page. It probably needs to be bigger because these are very difficult to read. What do you guys recommend?
I do it page
1
to
to a
page.
page?
I do them
Absolutely.
individually.
One slide,
too.
one
I do
page.
it
1 to a
particularly
page with
where
the
I'm going like
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, you're supposed to be a consulting firm.
Yes.
Yes.
Consulting
You're
firm.
rich.
And then,
That.
what you probably want to do when you're handing the slides out is have some kind of cover page that says something like
Yeah, they need a
Comic
cover page.
Consulting or something like that. And then you put this in, I mean, you're basically making a booklet. You want this to look as professional as possible. This is a marketing material. This is something that they're going to take away. So you probably want to have all your contact information on the end with your names, email addresses, phone numbers, somewhere in here, and that type of thing.
KPMG would have bios in it with your picture.
Oh,
and a
that's
short
even
bio.
better. Oh, you guys, that would be
We haven't
fantastic.
actually done that very
Yeah.
much, but
Yeah, we haven't either,
since
but we've done
KPMG
that.
is the judge, and that's how they're used to doing it.
I would put your bios in there. I've got my camera right there. We can take pictures today if you guys want. But it would just be a short bio mentioning, I mean, you can either, should they just do their real bio of them being students?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah,
just the
absolutely.
actual,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, we're just lowly students and look at the work we did.
yeah, I love that idea.
Give-
So who
hire.
can take up the bios?
Keep
Who here
going.
can, Yao, can you take the
Yeah.
bios?
Yeah.
Yeah, each person's gonna have to write a bio. I've got a
Oh,
bio of myself that you guys can look at.
Put the bios in the back.
Bios go in the back,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go through.
Okay, keep
Yeah.
going.
And
Okay.
really short, I mean, we don't need to know your dog's name.
Right.
No, it's just like 2 paragraphs maybe.
Yeah, we need to go every slide.
And also
No,
you wanna make
he
sure
needs
they
to
know
move
what your
on.
interest
Yeah.
areas
Got
are,
that,
cause
yes.
if you wanna work
Sure,
in
yeah, actually, we can go
audit or
ahead.
tax
Go
or
ahead.
whatever.
So fast?
Good
Can
luck.
we keep going?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
strategic
yeah.
analysis.
That's fine. Keep going. There was
Let's find
something,
the.
I actually
the
did
key
like
point.
this.
Okay,
Yeah.
now,
Oh,
oh, you.
no, you go ahead, Charles.
The problem I had with this, I was afraid to say something before, but then
I agree with
these
what
guys
you're
were
getting ready to say.
brave enough to say it, so I can't see this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I
Oh.
can't see your slides, but we fixed that. I mean, the thing on the paper here, we fixed that. I can see it with my glasses. But I can't see that, and, you know, I've got great vision
Okay.
that way. I have bad vision, close up, whatever you wanna call those things, okay?
Yeah,
But I don't know how to blow it up because you have so much information on the slide. Maybe blow it up minimally, something.
But at least
because
if it's blown up here,
It's
then you know that's what you're looking at and they
Yeah.
can look
Right.
at it on their.
Whatever
Well-
you wanna do.
blow it up on the
It's very
one
important.
page side.
I
That's
think the one on the right-hand side is the one that I can't see, cause you really want that Ford's 4.6% market share to show up, and you can't see that. It's on the, maybe it's because it's on the inside of the
See,
pie.
if one of the people watching this gets up and does this, it's not good.
I know, but
Charlie
maybe
will.
what you got,
Charlie
you know what
will.
maybe you could do is pull this out where it says Ford 4.6 and make that bigger. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
This is, you can't read this because
That
it's
could
on the
work.
blue. If
Yeah.
you pulled
Well-
this out and showed Ford 4.6, then you could say, you could see that all the other companies have a bigger piece of the pie. But if you
Can you do that?
pulled Ford out and made
Slice
Ford
and
bigger,
slice and
then
that's
you,
the right
I don't
thing.
know. Or maybe you could,
And
this
is
is
this
the
something
side
you really
that's hard
wanna
for me to
focus
read.
on?
Maybe do that side.
I see, I'm not afraid to say it.
No,
Other people-
I wrote down
Good.
No, I
two
mean-
slides, make it clearer, great slide.
He wrote that.
No, I still think this
Only the
goes
slide
back
for
to the
board. Only
point that
part.
not
It
everybody's
makes the
gonna
whole pie.
follow everything you're saying.
Is that necessary?
And what is your point? And put it in clear description at the bottom, so if somebody just daydreams for a minute, they can look up and it'll say, I mean, what's your point? Your point is, you
The
know,
Ford.
Ford has market share as a shrinking market.
Yeah, but look at this, they're going to, and by 2020, they're going from 4.6% to 43%? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I
this
think
is
that
Asia.
there's some
market
One
share
versus
in
Asia and Pacific.
72, 55, 40.
But I mean, is that clear to you guys what they're saying?
The Asia Pacific Africa region, the sales volume accounts for about 1/3 of
Yes.
And how you gonna get
whole
there?
sales volume.
I mean, right there, I could spend 20 minutes asking you how in the hell you're gonna get there.
Well, that's what
If you
she's
can
high
do
level
that,
trying to.
man,
But-
I'm gonna hire you, I wanna start a company with you guys. We're gonna
No.
conquer the world.
Are we sure this is directly comparable to this and this?
That's what I was
No,
asking.
It is.
You really?
Uh,
No, I'm not
Yeah.
challenging, I'm
Oh.
just saying, are we sure it's directly comparable from the point of view of the quantitative data that supports it? Okay? Frank and I think, if I'm speaking for you, sir, are looking at this and saying, okay, what year is this? 2012?
2012.
Okay, and in 8 years, we're gonna be 32%.
sorry.
No, we're.
That's
This
what they
is
are.
for the objective. Their objective
So
is
we
the
should just
whole.
take this out.
Yes,
Well,
these two are not.
I don't know, I'm
This,
just.
this is just a graph from the
This
annual
one
statement,
shows
so this is
false
what
objectives.
what board goal is, and that's what.
I think this is where you can cut some stuff.
For
Yeah.
We can make it more clear.
Mix of
More
volume.
clear.
I
So
just
that's just
wouldn't-
their
I
breakup.
think
That's how
you
they're
guys
breaking
open
Yes,
that
yes,
down.
yes. The more we put, we're gonna
Okay,
get.
wait.
I don't know
That's
how
from
important
them,
market
though.
share is.
Yeah,
Listen
sure,
to
yeah.
me.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
You ain't got
I'm
something
being
they need to be
deliberately
worried about?
stupid here, okay? I come in, I sit down at this meeting, I have experience like these guys have experience, okay? I look at this and I say, first of all, I can't read it.
Yeah.
That's not good.
We didn't change.
Second of all, I had the same reaction as that Frank did, okay? I thought this and this were comparable. And I said to myself in my first reaction,
That's what I thought.
it's not possible. You're not gonna do that in 8 years.
We should
First of
visit-
all, Ford is behind in Asia Pacific, and one thing I wanted you to make that I made a note on in there was, this is an opportunity to grow. Don't let anybody in that meeting tell you that 4.6 means they can't compete.
Yeah, that-
Why can they compete? Because they have a new CEO who came in and made cars that people wanna buy.
Yes.
That's why Ford didn't fail. They made cars that people want to buy, okay? And they're very much behind General Motors in Asia Pacific. General Motors is #1 in China. Hard to
Yes.
believe, but true. They sell more Buicks in China than they do in the United
Yep.
States. That's absolutely ridiculous, okay? But it's true. They sold 166,000 Buicks in China last year. No, in the United States last year. They sold 366,000 Buicks in China. Okay? They're number one in China. But for Ford, and for the guy who runs Ford right now, that's an opportunity.
Yes.
Ford has more chance to grow more than General Motors does, because General Motors is up against the market share number that they have.
Yeah.
Ford isn't. Ford is new, and Ford is making cars people want to buy.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
would
the-
focus on that.
The
what
so
Charlie
what,
just
the
said.
so what of this slide is mainly that I would probably say take off the left-hand side, because she mainly talked about the right-hand side. Take off the left-hand side and really talk about how if they can't handle this pension liability,
Yeah.
they can't grow for the future, which is what you said, take off that
That's what she
left-hand
said.
side.
That's what she said.
Okay, it's what she
So
said.
I only leave this one and make it bigger and make this.
Pop out a
Yeah,
little bit.
make that pop
Yeah,
out.
make
and
it
just-
red.
Just
Take
talk
this
about
off.
that.
and
Board it.
This can go in your project, the project paper that you're doing. And you can also mention that, you know, Ford's goal by 2020 is to have 1/3 of their business in Asia Pacific. Is that going to be possible? Right now, they only have a 4.6% of the pie. Doesn't that hurt? You know, you have a great, I love how you do that. I think it really shows and explains
Yeah,
it.
here's
But
the
they
thing.
need to address the pensions before they can move forward.
And I want to remind you
Yeah,
guys
there
of
you
one
go.
thing. I didn't read all the instructions, but generally in case competitions, they don't limit the amount of appendix you have. So
Right.
all
I
this
said
stuff,
that
if
the
you're
other
worried
day.
about cutting it out, put it in the back. Because
Yes.
somebody
Yeah.
asks you the question,
Then you can
you
refer
not
to it.
only have a good answer, you can say, I thought about
Yeah,
that.
and that's where
you can flip
your
to this
PowerPoint
page.
slides, you can, and when you hand out your PowerPoint slides, you can have that as an appendix item. And if they say, well, 4.6, I thought they were trying to get 33%. And if you can click to a slide where you had already planned that and did it, that's just gonna be like, wow, these guys are really planned.
Oh, yeah, one more
They've
quick
really
thing, 'cause
planned
I don't
through
wanna
this.
lose you.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I don't know, these slides aren't numbered, so I don't know where I am.
I
Which one
know.
I got?
Some of them are,
Page
but
9.
it's very difficult to read the page number.
Here is not, yeah.
Yeah, there,
Because
No.
Matt said-
you can see it up there, but you can't see it
Oh,
on the
can I see
slide.
which one?
Yeah, this-
Which one?
And then
Do
I
you want
you
the-
to-
The story.
Okay, got you.
And then I want
The
you to
question
go
is,
back
do
to
you
one.
want all of the slides numbered? Bless you.
You
Yes.
should have numbers.
Okay, so number the slides.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna-
Okay.
I think you have to.
Well, you're gonna have them
Right
numbered
now.
because what Lisa said, you're gonna have them one by one on your handout. So you're gonna have to have
And it
them
gets very
correspond.
complicated when somebody says, where's that page?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
waste
Sure,
the
yeah,
time.
we will add a page.
Okay,
It's
so
very
you need to add page
I'll be
numbers.
But I want to
back.
say something
Okay.
about this specific
This
slide.
is one of those
Okay.
slides that are wrong.
That is
Oh, okay.
Excellent work,
Oh, I like that slide.
but you went too fast.
Too fast, okay.
I
Okay,
forget who did that.
that was Yao.
My part.
Okay.
She was very fast.
It's too fast.
I know, I don't have time.
And you need to put Joe's name there.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
No, you can't say that. Now, remember what she said at the beginning? You're not gonna finish. You're
not right
gonna
now.
finish.
You're not gonna finish right now. Right now, you don't have enough time. Owen's gotta shave a little bit of his time off. Owen, you've got a good section, but you've got to shave some of your time out. You have good stuff to say, but Yao needs to talk about this recommendation.
Yao needs more
She
time.
needs,
Fine.
okay, here's
She
where
need
we are.
At least 5 minutes.
Okay. Amy, you took 2 minutes, 59 seconds. You need to shave yours down about 20 seconds. Wendy was at 5.33. I think you're probably okay. You may need to shave yours down by about 15 seconds.
Sorry, how much time I took?
You took, well, you took almost exactly 2.5 minutes. You should be, you're probably okay on time. Owen, you took from, you took from 5:33 to 10:26. You took 5 minutes. You need to take about 3 minutes.
Is that Owen or is it me?
No, that's, I'm sorry, never mind. Wait, okay, yes,
It's me, yep.
that was you. You took 5 minutes. Yours needs to be more like 4.
Jimmy, she shouldn't feel pressure. You guys should be dividing this time up so she doesn't feel pressure.
I know,
okay?
I know.
She
Yes.
went too fast with this.
And hers
And
is
it's
the
a good
section
slide.
that's really gonna
Slide.
save
Let me do
it.
it
But
again.
hers
Yeah,
is,
that was great.
It's a
but
good
hers is
slide.
the section that's gonna sell them. And you guys, we talked about some of this. Okay, so let's see. And Owen, you had from 10:26 to 15:02. You need to shave yours down to about 3 minutes. And when you guys get to Yao, she should have enough so that she can finish and by 18. Okay, that's the goal, 18. Because she had 5 minutes to do her section. She needs to have at least 7 or 8 minutes to do most of what she's doing. With the goal of trying to get to 18 minutes. So, I mean, I've got the times here, and then McLean, I'm gonna get him to post this for you, but it's mainly just shaving things out. Shaving just a little bit of the discussion out. The slides look really good, as Frank said. You guys spent a lot of time getting these slides to look amazing and to be self-explanatory, and they are so much better than they were when you guys first did it, and even since Frank's seen
You're not even
it.
the same team.
Let's
Yeah.
go back to one of the slides. I want to just get you to change the color for me. Go back to your financial assessment slide. And I'm not being a nitpicker, but
Oh, yeah, that's my board,
sorry there, Eddie.
Yep.
All right, no, go forward now. Okay, all right, when it starts, see where it says 2.72?
Two.
Mhm.
All right, I want you to make that green, all right,
Oh.
because,
Okay,
all
got
right,
it.
Oh, good.
because you got revenue, the red should say net loss, not net
Okay, gotcha.
income.
That's right.
And then,
Right.
when you got 2.72, make it green, so you're gonna have 3 bars up there, you're gonna have your revenue,
Nice.
the net loss,
Mhm.
and we go 2.72, that should be green.
So
You're gonna
instead
have-
of where it says net income, it's gonna say net loss or net.
No,
No, what do you
listen
want it
me.
to say?
Just
Okay,
change
I'm
the
sorry.
color, just
Yeah.
change the color.
Yeah, but
That's
what are you
net
gonna have on
income,
your?
right?
That's
Net
net income, yeah.
No, just follow Martin for a
They're
second.
asking me to change the color.
Okay.
See with this, turns this to net loss. Keep your red net loss. Following me, Eddie? Eddie, follow me.
Okay.
So that means you're gonna have a loss here, you're gonna have a loss here. The next thing, you're gonna make this 2.72 green.
I know,
Yeah.
And then that's gonna say net income.
Yes.
Okay?
That is
So
your-
you
Okay.
know, when you're
That's
talking
two.
here,
Yeah.
you're saying, hey, listen,
Plus two.
here's my net loss in these years. Now, I'm going green,
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
In other words,
Green's
you
good.
want that to show, the green.
all right?
Yeah.
So-
That's great.
That's great.
Nice.
So,
That
but
was a good
that
catch.
was
I
good.
didn't catch that.
Okay.
Hold on, I know I have the students standing over there. I know Charlie and you guys know this. I'm a salesman. I'm also an accountant. All right, the teams that I've coached, you gotta sell.
Ourselves, yeah.
You gotta sell what you're doing, okay? That 15, your first couple of minutes here, which I missed, that's your selling point,
Okay.
right there. You
Okay.
gotta sell them, and you gotta sell them, and then you push it back in. Yeah, you're the last one. You gotta go back in, and you gotta say, our recommendation is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay?
Those have to be the first words.
That should be your first words. When you come in to step up to the plate, okay, and was that young lady, Amy?
Yes.
Couple of seconds. Our recommendation is right in the beginning,
Yep,
and then
which
right
she
at the
did.
end,
Mhm.
which you probably did. I missed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you go up there, because you're the last speaker,
Yeah.
once again, our recommendation is, like Lisa was saying, this is what we're gonna try to sell. Boom.
Okay.
Just be confident. I think you guys have great slides. Those slides, I was comfortable with them.
We should have seen the last one.
Yeah, okay. And then,
No,
Should we see the first one?
seriously, I mean, it's-
I just made this last one,
Tremendous.
last comment on the last page. I always like to see this, go to the last one. Thank the people,
Oh,
Okay.
that's the one. That's the one.
the last one.
After the car, the beep
Yeah,
beep.
where you go,
Very
beep,
good.
beep.
Mustang?
Yeah,
Alright.
Mustang.
Oh, okay.
All right.
There we go.
And then somehow it says presented by, somehow say thank you Ford, and we want to be, I don't know, we want to be your consultant thing. But I think you guys are okay.
We want to go with.
We've gone through
You could just say thank you, Ford.
Okay.
Just being confident
Confident.
is gonna cut a lot of questions, because if they see a weakness,
Mhm.
you're
Yeah,
going
it's
after
gonna
that
take my
weakness.
And if you get defensive at the questions,
Oh, don't get to that.
then, you have to remember, the people in the audience are real
Right.
smart. You wanna remind them they're real smart. So if they ask you a question, you can always say, that good question, or, let me make sure I understand what you're asking.
Yeah,
Um,
slow.
But you don't wanna say, well, that was already stated, or,
Yeah.
those kind of things. Cause I did
Yeah.
sense a little of that in the
When I
answers.
went after him. She told me to go after him.
I did. I told them
suppose,
to.
or
I asked him to.
You can, well,
Or-
say he asked you a question, I can't remember what it was, and
Yeah.
the answer was like, you had a number, you were like, but instead of saying, well, that was 20 billion, you need to say, if I understand the question correctly, you're asking about X, and that, when we analyzed it, that number was 20 billion.
Yeah.
So,
Remember, each one of you
And remember,
need
you're
to
not
know
timed then.
everybody's.
Section.
I mean, you don't just know your section and I'm done.
Right.
You've gotta know his, hers.
You gotta be able to
hers,
fill in
and
if
his.
someone gets food
Because when a
poisoning in
question
Chicago.
comes, somebody could freeze.
Right.
I've done it, and it's nice to have Charlie here, here, I can take that.
Yeah.
And you can share with it.
Let them know you know the whole story.
That's the other thing
You've lived
too,
with this story. This
is
it.
pay attention when your other teammates are up
Yeah.
there presenting. Don't be looking around and looking at your watch and.
Yeah, you wanna
turn-
be engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what actually happened to the AACPA case that we were in January.
Mm.
Our closer got sick the night before. Okay? And
That
driving
happens. That
driving to the airport, I said to one of the people, I said, someone's gotta step up, and they were like, humming. So I just said, you're stepping up, then let's go. And, and they knew too, at the competition, we were supposed to come with 5 people, we only came with 4.
Even the suit, we should be in the same color.
So, yeah?
Now, an overall question, because I know you need to go, John. Does this sound realistic, what they're recommending?
Oh, yeah.
The buy-in?
The buy-in.
That sounds realistic.
Well, you're dealing with in my opinion, from a finance person, a very highly technical issue here. I mean, in finance, we can just make up numbers and they can come at us, but they can't prove we're wrong because it's all in the future. I mean, you've got definable stuff here, where an accountant can point to, and they'd love to do that.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna do great. I
Yeah.
really do.
Be confident.
Seriously.
I have a
'Cause you've
question.
God.
Yeah.
You can improve. I don't know how you improve.
4 what?
What?
There you go.
But don't you think towards the end, they should show how that 15.4 is going away?
Well, that was actually one of my questions.
Good point.
And it was on that slide, the net income slide.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if you wanna go back to that, it was,
Can you go to the net income slide? Who has the
Sure,
clicker?
yeah.
That's
it's
mine.
pretty close to the beginning,
That's a good one.
You mean the workflows?
this one.
Yeah, that's an important slide. Got my
You know,
attention.
One thing this doesn't do, and when I first saw this, I was like, we're not doing so bad, right? Our revenue's going up, our net income's going up, whether that's manipulated or whatever. We're retaining some of our earnings.
Well, you might show operating earnings.
Well, one thing I'd like to see is, if I'm hearing about this big problem, but I know I'm doing okay, if I don't do anything, and this is the first, as a consultant, we got asked this all the time, like, well,
What if we do nothing?
don't do this? Because, boards of directors don't like to take on new projects.
Yeah.
It's risky.
Take risks.
So my question from the board is, what if I don't do anything you're recommending? What if
That's
I
a
don't do
great
anything?
question.
My numbers are looking pretty good. If I sustain where I am, when is this pension problem gonna go away, or is it? Is it gonna stay the same? Is it gonna take 5 years to heal itself? Is it gonna continue to get worse?
Right.
Well, I think they're trying to allude to the fact that it's gonna get worse because, people are living longer and
But I don't believe,
margins,
know
but you don't
that
believe it
because
because
I see our
they're doing
numbers
so
going
well.
up.
I see what your point
They talked about
is.
it, but they didn't quantify it.
So, it'd be nice if it said, even though we're doing well, at the current rate, our pension deficit will continue to grow at X% a year, or something.
Oh,
along
that's a
those
good
lines.
idea.
Or even
How
if
much
this
will it
chart
grow?
went out a couple years, like you said,
In the
the advantage
forecast.
is everything's in real time, but the truth is, if I look out in the future, how dire is my future?
Right. You could cut out 2007 and do exactly what Lisa's saying. Put in like an estimated 2012 and 2014, or 13, okay, and say, this is where you're gonna be.
Yeah, because 2007 is meaningless in today's
Right, yeah, that's what
world,
I'm
right?
saying.
I mean, we just
Exactly.
wish we were back there,
But
right?
2008 is relevant, because when
It's
I saw
because-
this, I
Yes.
thought, the whole pension
2000
problem is probably because of
Well,
what happened in
that's
2008.
when the Great
Right.
Recession officially started.
Yeah.
So you could blow out 2007,
I agree, I'd
put
take it out.
2008, 2009, 2000, and then give them, say, hey, here's your forecast for 2012. Here's where we're gonna be, exactly to that point.
Here's where we're going to be if you do address the pension, or here's where we're going to be if we don't.
If you keep the status quo.
If you keep it the status quo. Either way, you could say, hey, if you keep the status quo, we're gonna be here, and if you don't, if you do what we're saying, here's where you're gonna be.
Yeah, and actually, that would make a great closing slide if you could quantify that.
Right, you bring that back together, bring it back again to say, here's where we're gonna be, guys. Here's our
Well,
final
this is
recommendation.
maybe what Eddie does is he says, this is where we would be if we don't address the pension thing, and then at the end, Yao says, here's where we will be if we do.
There you go.
Exactly.
I
And
think
then
you'll
you
tell
end
them
it.
You can do that.
That's exactly.
That's
how
a
you
good
do it.
idea.
Right, and you can take the same slide, just bring it back, because this is important.
Okay.
If you're a
The-
boardroom person, you're gonna
Yeah.
wanna know your net income, and you're gonna know you want your return, which you
Yep.
That's a
have
good
right there.
idea.
Yep, reduce the pension
You wanna know how
expense.
much cash
Well,
is in the
y-
bank.
that's one of the
overnight.
things that we, when we
You will.
went to KPMG
Yeah.
on Friday, that they kept saying quantify, 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 quantify. And that's them telling us this. We need to quantify it. We need to show how much this is going down. Another thing I'd like to see more of that the KPMG, and I know you guys had to work over the weekend a lot to get it where it is, but on buyout, Owen or someone over the weekend found that only 20%, it's estimated that only 20% of the people are going to do buyout, and I thought you
20%
guys.
From the 1/3 of the US pension obligation.
Yeah,
which
but
is
you
40%.
guys were saying, and then Yao says in her presentation, if 100% took it, it would basically wipe that out. But the reality is only 20% overall are going to take it. And I thought you guys were going to add talk about buyout and how you can make buyout better. I don't know if you guys think that that should be
I
included.
don't think they have time.
They don't have time. I know they don't have time now, but is that better for them to say? I mean,
It
they
could be
need
in
to.
a question and answer.
And they could do another slide on it and put it in the.
Well,
agenda.
buyout, they need to make buyout. I thought your guys' recommendation was, we are recommending how to make buyout better. And in the event that you cannot incentivize the employees to take buyout, that buy-in will de-risk.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you guys were
Yeah,
going to
that's
make
what
the
I was saying, yeah.
recommendation.
Put this in the appendix.
Right.
And
Okay,
then-
this
then
goes
if
in the
that- Then if
appendix.
that question
Okay.
comes up,
they can
you
say,
say,
go
hey,
back.
we've already addressed it, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, so mainly
That
they
you
need to
thought
focus
ahead.
on buy-in. But then my question for Lisa is, do you have any idea what they're talking about? Buy out and buy in. Do you understand what that
I-
means?
I do now, but it took me a while.
I know,
mean,
but how
I'll be
much
hon-
more what do they need to explain more? Because I think, this is a part that I think Yao needs to explain what she's actually talking about with buyout and buy-in and the de-risking
I
strategy
I'd
more.
make it I'd make it short and sweet.
I think
I know,
that
but I
they
think
need
they
one,
need
I
more.
think there needs to be one slide that's kind of like this, but in it. you
Slide like
have-
what?
Like this
Is it one of the
sorry,
ones up there?
You can't see this one.
Okay, with the pigs on it?
And I think it needs to have both. I don't think it needs the pigs, but if you want the pigs. I think for each of these, you need a definition, a really short definition for people. Again, I'm a big
Yes,
fan of people.
yes. I like
Being
that.
able to
Okay,
look at this
okay.
5 minutes later and know what they missed. And then having, on each one, having an arrow and having estimated 80%, estimated 20%. I think one slide needs to define all that, and then the next slide needs to be whatever deep, like the calculations.
Yeah.
And I think this slide at the bottom, the return on investment is greater than 4%. Is that the return on investment going from what you have to what you're recommending?
I think that's
It's
the return
assumption.
of, on the.
Assumption of what? Whose
If the
return?
guy, if the guy is getting 6% return, then he'll take the buyout, not.
Okay,
join.
you had a couple of really good numbers, but I think that they need to list on the bottom, and I think it needs to say, the company can save X percent for the 20% that are estimated to go into the buy-in.
Okay,
I
thank
mean,
you.
you threw out some really
Sounds
good numbers, but
See you,
you
Johnny.
went so
See you,
fast, I
guys.
don't know what they were.
Good luck. Text me when you win.
Seems like we have a lot to.
I don't think it's that much, I really don't. But I do think that you need to figure out for each section and all that talking, what your main points are.
You don't
That's the
realize
part that
how
I
much-
struggled with.
The amount of work
Okay.
you've done since